More details are coming to light about that fatal plane crash north of Nakina. The Cessna 208, operated by ZAM Air Services, disappeared last Tuesday with 2 crew members on board. The pilot of the search plane, which spotted the wreckage on Saturday, says they had mixed emotions, knowing they had solved the mystery, but also realizing there were no survivors. Jonathan Wilson reports.
The missing plane, owned by ZAM Air, formerly known as Nakina Air Services, was bringing cargo to Edmonton First Nation on February 28th when it failed to arrive at the airport at Fort Hope. After a 5-day search by more than half a dozen aircraft and search teams, the crew on this civil air search and rescue plane spotted a darker area in the forest below at around 11:30 Saturday morning.
We were simply flying up the track, and suddenly we heard from one of the other members of the crew to turn hard right. We broke the aircraft hard right, came around. We lost it immediately, and then after a couple more turns, we were able to locate the search object, mark it, and then relay the coordinates to our other SAR partners who were on scene literally in a matter of a few minutes.
Did you see a wing? What was sticking out? The whole plane, or maybe just a wing? What did you see?
Not very much. A little bit of scorched ground, and that was about it.
The plane crashed approximately 1/3 of the way along its flight to Fort Hope, just south of Chaucer Lake, about 60 kilometers northwest of Nakina. Major Emmanuel Graton, an Air Force commander involved in the search, says their Griffin helicopter couldn't land near the crash site, so a hoist was used to lower 2 Air Force search and rescue technicians to the ground.
So we inserted the 2 search and rescue technicians, and unfortunately when they arrived on scene, both occupants were found without vital signs.
And when we come upon a crash scene and there are no survivors, it's not good. We're glad maybe we can bring closure to the family, but at the same time, it's tough. It's tough for everybody.
Graton says the families of the 2 deceased crew members were notified soon after. The identities have not been released, but sources indicate the 2 men were from the Thunder Bay area. The rescue effort was hampered by the densely forested terrain, the large search area, and the lack of an emergency transmitter signal from the plane. The search involved 2 Hercules aircraft, helicopters from the Air Force, Coast Guard, OPP, and MNR, and 2 civilian search planes operated by Casera. Members from Edmonton First Nation also helped search for the crash site using snowmobiles.
I really appreciate everyone's efforts. It was definitely a big team that coordinated this event, and we're really happy with all the support we received from the local community and all the different resources.
The OPP are now in charge of transporting the victims from the crash site, and the Transportation Safety Board is sending investigators to the scene to try to determine the cause. Jonathan Wilson, TBT News.